The Toronto Marlies taking on the Syracuse Crunch. 2 games at home this week, including one Friday against the Grand Rapids Griffins. Usually when teams come in, there's a big Ontario connection. And for this team, the Syracuse Crunch, there seems to be a bit of a Sault Ste. Marie connection. Of course, Sheldon Keefe, a Sault Ste. Marie guy, Andrew Campbell, Sault Ste. Marie guy, Kyle Dubas, and many others. But Rob Zettler, the head coach of the Syracuse Crunch, besides being a former Toronto Maple Leaf, also a Sault Ste. Marie guy. Now, the Marlies picked up 2 wins this weekend. The Syracuse Crunch only have 2 wins so far this season, but Rob Zettler says his club is still getting to know itself.
Well, actually, I like our team. We started off really well. I thought we played well. You always got some things you have to work on, but overall I was pretty happy. Then we kind of, a few chinks in the armor as we went here, and we got to get back to kind of playing a little bit more of a basic game and tightening up a little bit, giving up a few too many scoring chances here and there. Just got to tighten up a little bit, and then that will lead to better offense for us as well.
Nice to be back in Toronto.
Always good to be back in Toronto. I love the city. I love coming here and seeing old friends and family, and I always have a good time there.
Sheldon, nice to see some familiar faces here in the American Hockey League facing the Syracuse Crunch.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys here. D'Angelo obviously had him in Sault Ste. Marie last year, and Matthew Pekka is a guy I go back with from my days in Junior A with the Pembroke Lumber Kings. And Matthew was a standout player for us in 2011 when we won the national championship there, the RBC Cup. So, you know what I'm finding here early on in the American League, that I'm crossing paths with a lot of former players, and whether it's guys I had in the OHL or in Junior A, and even guys I coached against in Junior A. There's a lot of alums here from the CCHL sprinkled around the AHL for sure. So it's nice to see those familiar guys and catch up.
Despite that, do you get a feel for what the Syracuse Crunch bring to the table tonight?
Well, obviously, the flip side of seeing these familiar faces is they're very good players. So those players themselves present challenges. But no, this is a team that got off to a good start and haven't really found their way here in the last little bit. But we attribute a lot of that to special teams play. They're 5-on-5. They've been quite good, and they look good on video. And they've got great players. So we're expecting a very competitive game. And our power play has been struggling. And I think it's going to be either whichever team really can get their special teams to take hold will have the upper hand tonight. So we hope it's us.
Andrew, what do you think you guys take away from that 3 games, 3 nights weekend?
It's good to come away with 2 wins. We had a really good one Friday, a really not so good one Saturday, and then to come back and pull out a win Sunday after kind of the stinker we had on Saturday was it was a good testament to our team right now.
What kind of knowledge do you take from that weekend and bring to tonight's game?
We just have to focus on doing the right thing. Like I said, we did a lot of good things for 2 games, and the one game we obviously didn't do too well. So we got to come out hard. And we have to have a good start. In the 2 games we won on the weekend, we had really good starts in both games, so that's huge.
See some patterns emerge at all? Power play is struggling a little bit, though. Is it too early to kind of jump into that kind of conclusion?
Yeah, I think it's too early. We're still kind of learning each other as a group right now, and I think I've had different lines pretty much every game so far. So I think we're still getting in the groove of things, and I think anytime you can win 2 games out of 3 games in a weekend, I think that's a positive thing. So we're just we'll take that, we'll take those points and move on.
What do you take into tonight against the Syracuse club? You learn anything about them, or is it still learning more about you guys?
Yeah, I think we're still learning more about ourselves first. It's obviously we haven't played Syracuse yet. It's going to be a good test for us. We know they got a big, strong team. They got David Brohl, who is here. He's a tough guy. So it's going to be a good test for us, especially a Wednesday night. After 3-3 the weekend before and having a couple of days off, it's going to be we're going to have to find our legs early.
Well, also a Sault Ste. Marie guy, David Brohl, who makes his way not only back to the American Hockey League, but to the Ricoh Coliseum.
Yeah, it's a good feeling back in the obviously AHL this year. It was a tough year for me last year. Obviously some ups and downs, but I think I found my way now. And then it's just game in, game out. You gotta show something every game and stay in the lineup.
Excited to be back in the building?
Yeah, it's good. I got a bunch of family coming tonight, so it should be fun out there. And a lot of new faces with the Marlies, but there's still a couple guys kicking around.
What do you think you started to change in your game as you learned a fair bit last year from where you went and the journey you took?
Yeah, I think it's just more like a puck possession game for me. It's not just getting out there and being rough and tough, just putting pucks in that, shooting the puck, like playing with the puck more on my stick. So, and conditioning is a factor for me. I just keep it going. I found out this year, do a little extra here and there. It keeps me fresh throughout the whole year. So as the year went on, I learned more about that.
Next up for the Toronto Marlies, it is the Grand Rapids Griffins on Friday night. And Dan Cleary is supposed to be in the lineup for the Griffins. And after that, well, it's a big road trip, and the Marlies won't be back until November 21st to face the Rochester Americans. It is the Royal road trip that keeps them on the road, and it starts out in Albany.